So we're going to look at the whole idea of proposal writing, practical. Then we're going to look at using AI to facilitate proposal writing. And then we're going to be identifying fake jobs and time wasters. So it's going to be like a tour. This is Upwork. Let's assume that you're already on your Upwork profile. So for the records, for those people who don't know where to go to when they want to find work, just go to the find work, and then there's a menu that drops down. Then you just have to click on it, find work. So immediately you click on find work, it will bring you here. So I'm going to elaborate on this find work page so that you understand what everything here it's all about, and so that you don't need to get confused. First of all, in this top page, this is an advert. This is just an advert. Upwork is telling you to join the Freelancer Plus. And many freelancers are actually in a free account where they get 10 connects every month. But here, if you join the Freelancer Plus, you get about 80 connects. And this Freelancer Plus costs about $14 a month. So there are other perks, of course. They give you the ability to see what your competitors are doing, and a lot of things. You can just click on it to learn more. So see whether it's something that you can subscribe for. So here, it's a very interesting part. Now pay attention to this place. The algorithm on Upwork actually takes account. It takes account of whatever you search. So in order not to be seeing jobs that you don't want to see, you can be able to customize your searches. All these searches here are the things that I've actually saved. I've saved them. Like I saved them over time. There are some of them that are here that I no longer do, but I saved all these things, and that's why they are here is because they help to influence my job feed. So on this my job feed, you will never see a job that is outside, hardly, before you see a job that is outside my niche. So I'm going to teach you now first how you can customize this job feed so that you can only get jobs that you want to see. Like you just be seeing only jobs that you want to see. So for instance, let's use video editing. Okay, let's go with video editing. So on my job feed, on my find work feed, I just decided to search video editing. Now I can customize this feed to just pick up some kind of jobs, especially on video editing. Right? I'm going to delete this later. So for you to customize this, the video editing jobs so far that was found are about 14,554 jobs on video editing. So these 14,000 jobs are the number of jobs that are open. They're actually open right now. So let's say you want to screen them. You want to screen the job before you save here. So for instance, you're looking for an intermediate job. So an intermediate job is about intermediate jobs here that are open are about 8,000. By intermediate, we mean jobs that are not too easy for entry level or too hard as experts. So you can also choose the hourly rate. Maybe you are looking at hourly jobs alone. You can check. You can say, okay, I want to see jobs that are just say around $40 to $100 an hour. Okay, that'll be too much. Let's say $40 to $50 per hour, right? So you see that you can see here that the jobs have reduced though. Can you see? They have reduced to like 552 jobs, right? So you can also say if they are fixed jobs, if it's a fixed price job, let it not be let it be around $100 to $500, right? So let's just say so you see they have increased again because I've added the fixed job, so there are about 1,578 jobs. And then we can even go further and say, okay, number of proposals. I don't want to see any job that has more than 5 to 10. Let me see jobs that have only 5 less than five proposals. So they have come back again to like 432 jobs, right? So I want jobs from clients who their payments are verified. So to fall back to 209 jobs. And then you can now select region. You can also select region here. You can select where you want the client to come from, and then you can just go. There are a lot of things you can check. You can check the length of the project. You can check the hours, the maximum hours or minimum hours per week. So until you can now do a very proper filter. So since you have filtered all these now, probably the jobs found that are actually under your category, there are like 198 jobs. So now, then you may now want to save. So when you click save, so you see the search itself is video editing. So if I save this, Upwork will take into account that I'm a video editor. So they will start showing me video editing jobs as well. Look at it here. Can you see it here? So your feed is actually influenced by the kind of searches that you save, right? So if you save a lot of searches with time, you start getting jobs that are relevant to all these searches that you have done. All these saved searches you have done. This is a quick example for you. You see now, logo animation opener for a football YouTube channel. I don't get this kind of jobs. You can see that the tags here is video editing, 2D animation, motion graphics. So because I've saved that, I've started seeing them. This is one of them. So in order to give yourself a more laser focused way of looking for or searching for jobs to apply for, you need to give searches and filter jobs. You can only see the things that are relevant to you. It will give you more focus and it will increase the chances you have to actually land good and less unfortunate jobs, right? So now that we have seen that, the next thing that we'll need to go to now is let's look at what this is your feed now. Remember what I told you? Look at all the searches now that I've done. They're also here. And then there's what we call best matches. So your best matches are the most saved item. These are your best matches. And also Upwork takes note of the jobs that you open. So if you are scrolling through your feed and you open a job, you apply to it, Upwork will start collecting algorithms and start showing you those kind of jobs. So if you get also hired for a particular job, so there are so many things that influence the find work area. So I just want you to know so that you'll be intentional about anything that you do on this particular area. So there's also the most recent jobs that you have interacted with, or jobs that are new, that are just coming in. So this one is, look at this one, just came in 1 minute ago. This one came in 2 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago. So these are the most recent jobs that have been suggested to you. And then the saved jobs that you saved maybe later. You might see a job that you want to apply to that actually fits, that you're a good fit for, but you don't have the time to apply, probably. And you know that even if you apply later, that you have a chance, you can try to save it. You can save it and come back to it later. So as long as you save it, this is the way to save it. Just click on this favorites here. You click on favorites, you see that I've removed this love button. See, the other one has disappeared. So once you click on it, it will save here. Now, let's go back to my feed. Okay, for instance, I want to see, let me just show you quickly. I want to save this job now. Look at it, saved. This job is saved. Now, if you come here now, you see it. Look at it here, crash list posting. So, and if you don't want to see the job again, you just put this thumbs down. Now, they will ask you a question. Why are you putting this down? I'm not qualified, budget low, blah, 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 blah. This is also a way for Upwork to take pulls. But whichever one you choose, it will go down. You no longer see it. So just not interested. So it will show you again. This is a kind of job. This is one kind of job that I think the prospects here are high. Why do I say so? Now, this client is from India. This client is actually ready to hire. Their payment is verified. It means that they want to get someone to hire, right? But they don't have experience yet. It's the first time. So if you're working with a client for the first time, the client does not know what to expect. So you are the one that is going to give them their expectation. They have not worked with anybody before, right? So it's clear that they might not be judging you from any benchmark, you know. So there's no yardstick for judgment. You are their first freelancer. So whatever you tell them, they believe most of them once they hire you. So whatever experience you give them, also they would also want to judge those experiences. You know, compare. That would also determine whether they will come back to you or not. So when you see payment verified, this kind of job is a good job to apply to. This guy's payment is verified and he's willing to hire. He has not hired yet, so there's no feedback. So it's like a virgin client. Cool. This is 100% the kind of opportunities you scout for. Then, as we move further, you'll also find out that there are some clients that their payment system are also verified, and probably they've not spent a lot on Upwork. They've spent money, but they've not spent so much on Upwork. So let's say you want to apply to this kind of job now, because this client already has an existing existing freelancer base. So probably they've worked with others. But there's something that you should look at for first. You see this about the client here. This place is going to inform you on a lot of things. First of all, what I tend to look at when I come here is the higher rate. Is the higher rate of the client. What is the percentage of hire? How likely is the client going to hire? And on the average, how much do they pay? So on the average, this client pays $23 per hour on the average, and they've been able to pay to actually pay freelancers for 171 hours, right? So 14 jobs posted, and they spent like $5,100, 14 hires, and 2 jobs are active that he hasn't hired for. So you may want to check this out. And then also, we talked about going to see the client's name. When you want to see a client's name and you want to address them according to their name, you just come down to this place in the client's history. See the client's recent history here. You just need to go through all these places to find out what the client's name might be. So this is the review that the client gave to the freelancer, right? And this one at the top here is the one that the freelancer gave them. So you might want to look at here. For instance, it says wonderful maggots. I don't know whether this client's name is Margot. It's a very interesting name, but I think my guess is. So here you find that the client's name will be mentioned at the top. If you look at it, they mention it again, Margot and team. So that means her name is Margot. So you may want to start your proposal with "Hi Margot," right? That's how you find the name. And then, so this is just me talking about the aesthetics of Upwork, everything about what you see. Everything you see on the jobs area, they have meanings. They have meanings. There's a reason why these things are here. So you have to look out for them. So you also notice that if a job is fixed price, you will see it here that this job is a fixed price job, and then it always comes with a budget. This is the budget, $100. The client has fixed it, so their budget is $100. It's advised that when you see a job like this, it means that the client says, "This is what I have to do this job," right? So if you want to apply for it, the advice is that you don't have to bid above it, because there are people that will bid below it. So if it's a good fit for you, if you think you're a good fit for the job, you can just apply and go with the budget of $100. If you can do it below $100, it could be an advantage for you. So you would also notice that immediate is the entry, the level of expertise that the client is looking for. A kind of a medium talent that is not too naive and is not too much of an expert. So hence, he thinks that $100 can be able to can get him an intermediate motion graphics designer or something. That's his own thinking, right? But if he doesn't cut it for you, you can just pass. Now, this is the second type of job, hourly. Now, in this hourly, you find out that it's $15 to $25 here, for instance. And then here, the client is also saying that I'm looking for an intermediate. But here, you will not find an estimated budget because there's no estimated budget. These kind of jobs are actually, prevalent in areas where you don't, the client, you or the client or the markets are not too sure of how long it will take to actually do that kind of job, right? Or a job that is even long term, somehow. So it depends on why the client wants to use hourly or fixed rates, to hire. So I'm just trying to show you the different types so that now for you to actually work on an hourly job, you need to download an Upwork job tracker. This is it here on my. So it's a desktop app that you need to open so that you can click on it and log time. Once I click on it now, I'll start logging time, and it starts screenshotting. You can see there's a last screenshot here. So that's what Upwork job tracker. You can see it has actually screenshotted now, and it's saying I've reached my limits so it's actually 10 hours a week here, and it's done. So the way it looks like when you are working hourly, there's a screenshot coming up each time, every 30 seconds to ensure that you're actually doing the job. So there's a link. So this is where it is, desktop app. And you can actually come here, click on it, and download it. It's not if you would need it, it's definitely a must. Let's go to this area. Here you will find available connects. You see buy connects. So for the record, every job that you try to apply to here, there's an amount of connect that you should expend. It depends on the length of the job and the worth of the job. If it's worth more, you might expend more connects. So once you click on it in this area, you see send proposal for 8 connects. Means that Upwork sees this job as a potential, high-paying job, probably because it's an hourly job between $15 to $25. So they say if you apply for this job, you're going to expend 8 connects. Let's try to apply. Once you click on apply, just right at the top, you find the number of connects. And when you submit it, they will show you the balance of the connects that will remain, right? And then when you go down and you are done with submitting this, you're done with writing your proposal and you want to submit now, there's a place for you to bid. Remember, if you were here in our last session, I told you that there are 4 places that clients actually see for boosted proposals. So these are the 4 areas. Once you set your bid, for instance, the job is what the job is like 8 connects, and I want to bid. Let me say I want to bid with like 12 connects. Once I bid, I will come up here and stay because there are no bids on this job yet. So if someone bids me from the first position, I'll come to the second position and stay. If they had bid me on the second position, I'll come to it, and just like that. If I move out of this 4th position, Upwork will refund my connects back. The 8 connects that is for the job originally. It's the extra connect I added, which is 4 to boost the job. Upwork will refund those 4 connects for me. And if a client contacts me, Upwork will refund both the boosted connect money. I mean, both the boosted connect, whatever I spent on the boosted connect, and also the one I spent on the job, which is 8, if anybody contacts me from that particular job I posted. So this whole process is what we call the proposal. So the proposal starts from here. The proposal entails both the duration of the job, the fee, the cover letter, the bidding, everything is the proposal, right? So here, first of all, when you want to submit a proposal, it will ask you a question. Propose with a specialized profile or with your general profile. So for the record, for those of us who have just started, you can actually create a general profile and also create a specialized profile. Let me show you what I mean. I just hope we have all the time, a lot of things to talk about, but I'll just take it as quickly as I can. So this is my profile generally now. Here you see all work, right? This is all work. So this is my general profile. That's why you are seeing this. So I still have specialized profiles on lead generation. So once I click on one of my specialized profile, you see lead generation here. I click on the other one, market research, you see it. So there are like 2 other specialized profiles. You can actually set that up yourself if you want to. So by the time you are to apply for a job, or right to send a proposal, they will ask you which of the profiles you want to send. I like sending proposals with my general profile because it gives an overview of what I actually have. So, but if the job is too specific, I might want to go with a market research to show the clients that, okay, I'm actually a market research person, I've niched into that, right? So that's that. So for instance, I'm sending this with a market research, and then you go down. So this is the detail, the job detail. You might want to go over it again. They brought it here for you to go over again, and then show you what the client is interested in again. The client is saying that this job will last more than 30 hours a week. It's an hourly job, and this project might take 6 months. So you see why it's so expensive connect-wise. It's 8 connects because it's a long period of time, and also the client is paying averagely, to get this job done, right? So you see the skills required, and then you come here and set your hourly. Remember that the client says this is where you have to bid, right? The client says $15 to $25. So many people will be going for $25 or even more. And this is your hourly rate too, and there's a 10% fee charge on every job, and there's also what you receive. So you may want to focus on what you receive. What do you want to receive from this job? Don't start here, because if you start here, whatever you put here, Upwork will collect 10%, right? We collect 10%. Look at the 10% here. So if, for instance, I like starting here because I want to have an idea of what I want to earn from this job. It's $20. So Upwork will just add its own 2.222. So it will become 2.22 here, right? So within this range. So you have to be careful not to go above this range. The client has already told you that this is what they are willing to pay. By the time you bid yourself, maybe you say, you now want to go and say, no, this work I'll do it for 50. If you want to do it for 50, then this is not the right job for you. You need to look for another one that's actually around $50, because the client has already said, this is what I will pay, right? So you have to be very cautious. Now, one advice I would like to give is that, some of us will be like, okay, I need to start earning like $50 per hour. Any client I cannot pay $50 per hour, let the clients go away, right? So, but freelancing is not always like that, because some of the things that we target, most of the times we target long-term projects. Now, long-term projects, even Upwork supports long-term projects. Long-term projects, over time, it's better for someone to hire you for like 6 months than to hire as in hire you for like 6 months and pay you $25 an hour, than to hire you for like 3 weeks and pay you $50 per hour. It depends. Some clients, they want it to be a longer project, but it depends on what you are charging them. And it also depends on what you are doing for them, right? So it's always advisable to stay within the bid and think about a long-term thing, right? Instead of limiting your potentiality for earning more over time. Then let's talk about geolocation. Let's talk about geography. So we always advise freelancers from Nigeria to try and work with clients from Europe. By Europe, I mean United Kingdom, Germany, and then Africa. Clients from Africa. Recently, clients from Africa have started to turn up somehow. But I avoid clients from India, Bangladesh. I mean, you can meet some good Indian guys, but I've never worked with an Indian person that I didn't have complaint about. So we want to utilize this information properly and focus on clients that don't have any problem paying you. Poland, you can see Hong Kong clients are fantastic. Clients from China are fantastic. Clients from United Kingdom, Australia, United States, they are very, very fantastic clients. So you may want to, Denmark, absolutely great, but this guy's payment is unverified. Yeah, so one other thing that you need to pay attention to again is that when you open a particular job, sometimes clients will want to tell you that they want people from this particular location. Like this is Saudi Arabia. For example, this client that is posting this now is Saudi Arabian, I think. Or maybe they want to go into the Saudi Arabian market. I'm not taking time to read it, but the client is saying that they want talents worldwide. But for some jobs, they will specify, they will tell you that under here you see it just underneath, they will tell you they want freelancers from either England, UK, anywhere, they will just specify it here. So just make sure that you take notes, because most of the times when clients specify that, it means that if you are not from those places, they would not actually give you the opportunity. They might not even read the proposal. I'll get back to you. Some kind of jobs that you should avoid. You see this kind of job here. This person is not ready to hire. Apart from the fact that they have not spent anything on Upwork, their payment method is not verified. So this person might likely be testing the water. If you apply for this kind of job and you expend a particular connect, if the job closes after some time and they don't hire, right? Upwork is going to refund you whatever you expend on this kind of job. But that is not the issue. The issue is that it will take some time. It will take up to like 30 days, right? And you're spending 4 connects. So along the line, you might find a job that costs as much as 4 connects that is actually real. Payment method of the client is verified and the client wants to hire. But for the fact that you have spent your 4 connects here for a job that doesn't make sense, you might have to wait for these 4 connects to come back. So that could mean you are spending unwisely. So that's why we say we avoid these kind of jobs, because the clients might not hire. The likelihood is the probability is 0. So like I told you, just like the way clients rate freelancers also rate clients, right? So there's some clients that are trouble. Just based on their rating, you already know that they're trouble, because freelancers have rated them badly for some reasons. And if freelancers have rated, look at this kind of person, 2.67 stars based on 47 feedbacks. So the guy is, I would never work with this guy. Even if he invites me, I would turn him down, because there's the likelihood that they don't have a good working relationship. So 47 persons have rated you and you are 2.5 stars. A very bad review. So you may want to avoid this kind of clients. Let's read some of the things that they say about him. So the freelancer, I gave them 1.3, says, they first asked me to fill a form with personal information, but failed to provide me with those information in a timely manner. I needed to send them multiple emails to get a response. In each step of the form, I needed to go back and ask for more details and wait for hours to get a response. Their communication skills is lacking. We were using emails for communication, and their usage of email is close to real-time messaging apps. One-word emails, multiple emails about the same project, which makes it hard to follow the reasoning. Finally, I was unable to move forward with the work given the communication problems and lack of details and priorities. For these reasons, I decided to end this contract. So we can go on and on. There's another person that gave 1 star. You can imagine. So imagine that as a newbie, you work with this kind of person. He's going to be abysmal, you know. So avoid those kind of clients. So whatever you see here is just an example. You may want to try out things your own way. So this job says, hello there. I need an expert researcher to find me a list of 50 companies that have NVIDIA A800, A600, and A40 GPUs for rental in France and Saudi Arabia. The companies must be either French or Saudi Arabian. If you're an expert, please send me a proposal. So this client is looking for an expert in this, and they want to pay $500 for this, for 50 companies only. So it means that it's hard to find. It's difficult for them to find those companies. So that's why they're paying so much, just 50. And then at least, as it says, please write 3 French companies that has GPU server rental with mentioned GPUs. Now this is a very tricky thing. It's a very tricky thing. Now, why is this tricky? They are looking for 50, right? And they have opted to pay $500 if you get those 50. But they're asking you as a sample, you should write 3. Now, imagine that up to 10 persons apply for this job. If you times 3 by 10, for instance, they get unique companies, it means that they have gotten all they are looking for, so they will close this job or never hire for it. You get the point? So most of the times, professionals don't apply for this kind of jobs because it's even against Upwork policy to ask for samples. So he's generally asking all freelancers to give him samples. It means that he might not be willing to even hire. So plus the fact that he has a 32% hire rate. So these are the things that you should be looking at for. You cannot say them enough, but you have to keep looking at for these things. But let's say I want to apply for this job. It costs like $6 so let's apply. So here, when it's a fixed price, you have to now say whether your payment is by milestone or you want it by project. If it's by project, if you want it at the end, if you want to get all your money at the end of the project, you click by project. But if you want to get your money milestones, maybe you want it to be divided into 2, you can just say, okay, once I get half of the job done, you pay me $250. So this is the first milestone. So you can just come here and say first half of the job. Then you can put a due date for the first half of the job. You can just tell them that, okay, by 30th, you should be done with the first part of the job. And you can also set your second milestone as well here, just like that. So you can just say this is second half of the job. Right. Then here, you can also set your say the second half of the job will now be like, let's say another week, say third of, and then you put 250 here. as a balance. So, but if you want it to be by project, so it will just be $500 when you finish, you pay your $500, right? That's it. Then you set your project. How long do you think this project will take? How long do you think it will take you as a professional? Probably less than a month. So, but what you should have in mind is that as you're applying for this job, other people are applying. So keep your competitors in mind, because they might be giving lesser. You might say, okay, you want to say, okay, let me say 1 to 3 months. But your competitors might be saying less than a month. So if you bid and say 1 to 3 months, the client will likely choose somebody that will deliver faster. Right? So, and even for the fee, you might want to give the client a discount. Many people will go for the whole amount. So the clients might get back to you if you can give them a kind of discount. Okay, this is your budget. I agree that this is your budget, but if you give me 400 for this job, I'm fine. Like, so the clients will actually pay 444.44. You can even make it, if you can make it 350, for instance. So the lesser the budgets that the client might expend, the more the client might want to look at your area as well. But I'm not saying that you should be cheap. I'm saying that you can use price as strategy to win jobs. So there's pricing strategy, there's everything. You have to include everything when you are applying, so that you can have a greater chance. Remember that we told you that the first thing that you should do in this kind of circumstance is to grab the client's name so that you can get their attention. So this guy, the client's name is Ahmad. So I'll just copy this name here. I'll just come here and say, hi Ahmad. So I will just start by saying, usually I like to say, thank you for making this job available. And I like to give double spacing so that the clients can do a kind of skim reading. So not too much clustered words, So once I express my gratitude in the first place, I would now write a particular hook that can be interesting. So the first thing I would like to do is, first of all, to look at GPU server rental. So I like to also, I always advise that before you apply for any job or apply for anything, do a little bit of search on that thing. Even if you know it, try to find something that that can actually catch this client's attention. He said, please write 3 French companies that has GPU server rental. Yeah, you might just want to put France, that you can find a company. Take for instance, some of these companies that we see here now, they are GPU servers. So here now, I might want to now get the client's attention and say, from a brief search, found over 30 GPU server rental companies. So if you engage me, or go above and beyond, you get exactly what you want. Now this is just my opening. So I can now go ahead and start talking about my experience, So in the past 7 years, I've done this, I've done that. So, but I just want to give you the idea of getting clients to actually pay attention to you. Remember, I told you that in the first 2 lines, this is where the attention will come. Okay, in the first 2 lines is where you get your attention. So you might want to bring this one here so that it will appear, because after the high will be this one. So just be strategic about it. Whatever punchline you're giving, whatever hook you are giving, ensure that it appears in the first 2 lines, and then go ahead to recreate whatever you want to create. Now, how can AI help you to apply for this kind of job? Let's use ChatGPT for instance. So for me, what I do is that I'll just post the job, then I'll give ChatGPT an instruction. But you have to be very careful about the kind of language. Now, let me tell you what ChatGPT does. ChatGPT is a open generative artificial intelligence. That is to say, it gives you responses based on the conversation it's having with people around the world. Sometimes you might talk to ChatGPT about something, it will give you the answer, but it will not tell you where it got it from. It's not programmed to do so. So if you're relating with ChatGPT, you may want to be intentional about it and try to upgrade your terms of instruction. So let me start by saying, please craft a response for a client whom I want to send proposal. Now, I might want to even enrich this more. I might tell ChatGPT that I have about 7 years experience in market research, or I've worked with whatever you give it, it will flesh it. So let's try to send it and see what ChatGPT will do for us. So this is a very, very long proposal. Now, in this background, like I told you, if you give ChatGPT an in-depth example of the kind of jobs that you have done, they would reflect it. Like if I mentioned I've worked with Microsoft, ChatGPT will also include that as my experience. So, but we have a proposal structure. But I want to test ChatGPT to make it very concise, because it's very long. You might not have the patience to read all this. So it's very concise. It's very concise, but it's too concise. You can just pick up whatever you want from here. But this is very comprehensive. Sometimes I send it. It depends on the kind of client I'll just want to send it. I'll just remove some things. Or you'll be rest assured that there's no mistake and it's tailored for this client. It's tailored. This is not a generic proposal, because a generic proposal will not even mention the things that the client is looking for. So it's tailored. It's a tailored proposal. It's professional. But if there's a way you can make it shorter, I think it would be sweeter there. Thank you so much for your time.